Today, from Raymond James Stadium in Tampa, Florida, it's Week 4 of the NFL on EA Sports.
Still a bit warm here in Florida, but really all things considered, a wonderful fall afternoon for football here in Tampa at Raymond James Stadium. Today, it's Week 4, and we've got what should be a great one here between the Miami Dolphins and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. And a glance here at their quarterback standing 6'3".
And it felt like in watching the game tape, he got everyone involved last week.
He was a manager.
He really was. That's a great way to put it because they ran the ball some. They threw it accurately. One touchdown pass, so he didn't, break the bank doing that, but he didn't throw any interceptions. That's the bottom line. That's why a defense loves a quarterback like that. Doesn't put them in bad situations.
Into a sea of defenders and intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And a terrific return as he takes this thing all the way down near the 20-yard line. So here are the Dolphins now with excellent field position to start things out. And they'll be led out by the man running the show, Charles, their quarterback.
And he's been playing at an elite level here in this early half of the season. Tops in the league in touchdown passes at this point. This is definitely a wide-open offense, so we'll see if he can keep his string of good games going right here.
Richardson now on first down. Over the middle, complete. It's Nash. And the result here, a pickup of 8. Leaves him with 2 to go on second down.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
And the Dolphins are going to have what looks to be a first and goal as he'll take this down to the 10-yard line. Pretty much unreal, not just in terms of yardage, Charles, but also throw in the 3 touchdowns as well.
When you put the whole package together, I can make you a pretty good guarantee right now. He's going to see a few more people in the box every time he lines up.
Yeah, I don't think that the defense has any choice. They've got to stop him. Can't let a repeat performance like that.
Agreed.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he'll get about 4 there as he takes it from the 10 down to the 6.
Defensively here, you're facing a top-5 team in terms of points scored in the NFL. So when they're that high-powered, you've got to find a way to hold them under 20. Because to me, that's the magic number. 20 points scored gives yourself you give yourself your best chance to win.
So if they're up around 24, 28, 30, they could be. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. A great effort there. His second touchdown on the season. And the Dolphins are on the board first here on the road in Tampa. People always talk about one of his biggest strengths, running the football, vision, and he found the spot there, went into the end zone.
You're exactly right about that. It wasn't just the vision, right? Once he saw the gap, decisiveness, made up his mind, and about the power to finish the play. Not only did he get good blocking, he created his own space as well.
Extra point right down the middle, and it's now a 7-0 game. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Here he is, the man taking the snaps under center, heading out for the next possession. And he'll need to find a way to shrug off the opening drive, if you can even call it a drive. One play and an interception, so he's got to forget that.
I know that in today's football, we have a good number of coaches who don't look at time of possession the way that the old school guys did. But there's still a place for it. I think that on this drive, after having thrown that interception, they're going to want to eat up a little bit more clock and run some offense and give their defense a little bit of a break.
A look at the numbers for Harris in last week's game. 17 carries, 68 yards.
They look like a team that really emphasized the running game in the offseason. They were going to build around it. Didn't matter if they're going to run gap scheme, power scheme, whatever. They've got a runner who finds yardage if you give him just a little bit of space.
This defense for the Dolphins, they were quite formidable in the win over Philly a week ago.
And that's not the half of it. They forced 7 turnovers in that game, and I know we always talk about turnovers coming in bunches once you force the first one, but 7? That seems almost impossible, but we watched it happen.
Here comes the Buccaneers punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week as his first one here's away. That's taken on the 25. A very nice punt that time, but they get 11 back on the return. And it'll be Dolphin football. So Miami coming out for their second drive. They have to be thrilled with that first drive that got them the touchdown. Now they'll be looking to make it a 2-score advantage here on the road.
And you know they spent all week in practice, in meetings, talking about taking an early advantage. Being the road team, going up a score, that takes the crowd out of the game and puts some doubt in the minds of their opponents.
And that's going to wind up incomplete. However, we do have a flag down. Let's check in with our referee. So a costly penalty yardage-wise as that'll move the football down to the spot of the foul.
And what the officials are looking for in these situations, whether you're playing the man or the ball. And if you're playing the man, you get a lot less leeway in terms of what's going to happen at the end of the play. But if you're looking for the football, it's less likely to draw the flag.
And a nice pick up there as he'll take it from the 10 down to the 5-yard line.
A quick burst there, and he nicely bit off a pretty decent gain.
After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. And he'll give it here to his running back. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop it right around the 1. Calling a gain of 4 there, so it sets up a big play here. 3rd and a yard.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about...
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. It's the fullback. His 6th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. Point after, right down the middle. And that'll make the score 14-0. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with a 1-yard touchdown run. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Back now comes Tampa Bay. Not only are they in search of their first score, they're in search of their first down in this ball game as they come up 1st and 10. They'll start on the ground with Harris. And he's going to be dropped following a pickup of 7 past the 30 to the 32. When you're down early, how do you get back in the game, maybe establish the run? I think they're trying to do that.
Now I'm with you on that one, and what I like about the message is that there's no panic from the head coach. He's already told his offensive coordinator.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football.
A lot of bad news on that play for them, wasn't there? Lost the football, lost a lot of yardage, but I think the good news outweighs it. Able to retain possession. That was big for them.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Oh, that's into a sea of bodies, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 45.
Well, to me, it's pretty simple, and it's fairly obvious, isn't it? He's got to start making better decisions with the ball.
That's now 2 interceptions in the first quarter. After interception number 1, there was a long talk on the sideline, and now he's made another mistake.
Yeah, he's just been kind of laying these passes out there. He's kind of been floating them a little bit. He's got to be more decisive in his reads and definitely more decisive in throwing the ball. Rifle it in there every now and then.
And a dangerous throw there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
I think we can all understand what they're thinking right now. They take over the ball in field goal range after the turnover, so they've got that in their hip pocket. But they've got to go for the end zone and turn this into bigger points. Their thinking is a touchdown is really what they should get from starting here. Getting 3 points at the end of this drive, that would feel disappointing.
I see an extra defensive back on the field. Little surprise here on 3rd and 1. The play fake. Richardson. His throw caught right around the 6. And the Dolphins are going to have a 1st and goal coming up as they find a way to convert there on 3rd and 1. A pretty sizable deficit here in the first quarter. This defense probably need to get off the field in those situations on 3rd down.
And you and I both know in this huddle before that last 3rd down play, that's exactly what they talked about. Let's make a play. Let's get off the field. Let's reverse the momentum. Instead, they got hit with another.
And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. A great play there with a lucky number 13 touchdowns now on the year. And the Dolphins add on to their lead. Though CD, there didn't seem to be much resistance there down near the goal line.
Yeah, partner, from what I saw there, not a real good job of matching up defensively because to me, they looked like they were just in their base 3-4 package. You need bigger bodies in there in a goal line type situation. The 3-4, fine between the 20s, but not down here when you're guarding your end zone.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now 21-0. So that drive, 4 plays, and it's finished off with a 5-yard touchdown run. So how about this for a start? 21-0 here in the first as they kick this one away. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Now here's the signal caller getting ready to lead this offense again. Bottom line, he's got to figure things out. He's completed 3 passes, but 2 of them have been to the wrong team so far.
And when we talk about the best quarterbacks, we're usually talking about touchdown to interception ratio. And 2 to 1 is acceptable, but the top line guys 3 to 1 or better is what they're looking for. Now we're talking about interceptions versus completions. That's not a ratio should ever be in any discussion.
Second and 6, just inside the 30. Back to throw. Kendrick. That swung out wide to Harris. So just 3 yards on the completion there. And that'll make it 3rd down.
That might feel like a little bit of a lost opportunity there for the offense because the defense brought pressure that time. And sometimes against that, you can get out to your running back, and it can turn into a big gain downfield. What a nice job they did.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And this is brought all the way back. A fumble recovery and taken to the house for a Miami touchdown. Second time he's lost a fumble. This one hurts more. It's returned for 6.
He's been under a lot of duress, hasn't he? Pressured, hurried, harassed the whole game.
Well, the offensive line not giving him a lot of help.
Not a lot of help, but the bottom line, he's got to take care of the football.
Extra point right down the middle. And the route is on here in this first half. So this not what we expected. 28-0 here in the first as another kickoff is away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. Here's the Dolphins defense as they head out to set up shop. And a big reason they have the lead right now, as we see on the screen, their 3 turnovers.
And how about the emotion?
The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them. The coaches from all the way up here, they were adamant. You've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
Looking to throw. Kendrick. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. That'll go for a gain of 7, and that'll make it 2nd and 12.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion. They would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion, but I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged across each zone, you see him pointing, communicating. There he is, and they passed him off to each defender. Ended up making a nice play, even though it was complete.
1 yard officially on the pickup, and it'll leave him with a 3rd and 11. That result, really no surprise. That's what we're coming accustomed to with this #1 ranked rush defense.
And you study the game. Does this bring back a few memories? Maybe the 85 Bears trying to move the ball against them, 2000 Ravens. Heck, how about the late 60s, early 70s Purple People Eaters, the Minnesota Vikings? Hard to move the ball against those types of teams.
Here comes the Buccaneers punter now, as he'll kick it away for the 2nd time. 44 on his first punt, and this is a good kick as well. Taken from just outside the 30. Call that a 41-yard punt, 6 yards on the return. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So now the Dolphins set to take over on offense. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well. So good starting field position for them here as they come up 1st and 10 at their 38. He sets to fire deep. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. It's a big play there for Miami. Sometimes the one-handed catches are unnecessary, but he was trying to ward off the defender with the other, so maybe that was just a good play.
So that tells you that not only do they imagine those types of catches, they actually work on them with defenders jostling them in order to keep their concentration and haul it in.
Back to throw. Richardson. Under pressure, down he goes. Sacked at the 10. It's a loss of 5 there on the sack to bring up 2nd and goal.
Well, there's still time to rectify this situation because the silver lining, they took a sack on 1st and goal. But that close to the goal line, that still definitely hurts.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins open the lead up to 34-0. Now, first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, it's stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
Point after, right down the middle. And that makes this 35-0 now. So plenty of fireworks here early. 35-0 now as the kick is away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. They're still in search of an initial first down as they come up here 1st and 10.
56, Mike, 56, right there.
Harris starts the drive on the ground, and he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. Nice job there on the tackle. Keep him to the short gain. And, of course, he got some good news this week. He was named AFC Defensive Player of the Week from last week's effort.
And part of the reason he got that award, because of plays like that. Not every play is spectacular. Not every play is for a loss. Make the plays that are in front of you, keep it to short gains, and you pile up statistics.
So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6.
We got three.
Looking to throw. Kendrick. And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th.
That's 3 sacks now, and that's not much of a surprise to me, nor should it be to you. This team, they lead the league in sacks.
Yeah, they do. This is something that we are starting to witness time and time again. Here comes the Buccaneers punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's getting a workout here in this first quarter as he gets it away. And it's fielded at the 34. A nice run back there off the good punt. It's a 16-yard return. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. Out comes the Dolphin offense now as they get set to take over here. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Miami. A big play there. His 9th touchdown of the season. And the Dolphins are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
If you did know it, it won't surprise you to find out that this team leads the league in scoring. They've been a quick strike team all season long. There's another example. They did it again. This offensive coordinator, right now you can write his ticket towards being a head coach. He's advanced in the ways of offense.
The extra point splits the uprights, and it is 42-0. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. One play drive and into the end zone for 6. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Tampa offense ready to get their drive started. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on first down. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6. An entertaining start to this one. More to come on EA Sports. 2nd and 6, just inside the 30. Off play action. Kendrick. And he's going to have to eat this one as down he goes. It'll go as a loss of 3 on the sack, and it brings up 3rd down.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now.
56.
On 3rd down, Kendrick. And that is incomplete.
Well, this first half has not gone according to plan so far offensively, or even defensively for that matter. They could use a big-time spark somewhere, but it's not going to come on this drive as they have to punt this one away.
This is taken at the 23. A pretty good return, all things considered, but hold it.
I agree with you totally. It's actually a return that they were going to be very proud of, but when you end up holding and bringing it back, now your offense has to start a little bit deeper in their own territory.
Here's Richardson throwing on first down. He's going to sling this deep downfield. He's got a man complete. And he gets this down deep into Tampa Bay territory. It's a big play there for Miami.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play. They picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
Well, that didn't take long. One play, and we're already looking at a 1st and goal situation. And to give this time to the tailback. And he's going to bowl his way into the end zone for the Dolphins score. A great play there with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Dolphins continue to pull away here in this first half. So it was the passing game that got him down here, but closer to the goal line, it's the running game that gets him home.
Certainly appears that they lulled the defense into thinking that the passing game was going to be it the entire drive. Nice change up there going to the running game to get them over the goal line.
Extra point right down the middle, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Here comes Montgomery now to return it. And he will make it to the 20-yard line and no further. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
Throwing on first down. Kendrick. It's brought in by Harris. And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5. Looked like a pretty good, safe play right there. No, he's had trouble with the interceptions in this game there. Hits his guy out in the flat.
Yeah, so many times we hear quarterbacks and offensive coordinators talk about in your progressions, you're either throwing the touchdown or you're throwing the check down. But earlier in the game, it was touchdown or interception. Now he got to the check down, a nice safe throw, and a good one.
It's not easy playing the corner, is it? A lot of times you got to defend against the pass, but sometimes you have to play against the run. How about the job he did there, crashing inside to make that tackle for a loss?
Tight ends on the Ringo. Tight ends on the Ringo. 3 down, 3 down. Hey, check. 3 down, 3 down.
To throw on third down, Kendrick. Quick hitter here, it's complete. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be fourth down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. Here comes the Buccaneers punter now, as he'll punt it away for the fourth time today. This is fielded at the 27. A good return there, 17 yards. And out will come the offense as they take over. Getting set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. It's the second quarter. His team has the lead, but I think he's hoping for a little bit more production out of himself.
And we often talk about preaching patience to a runner when things are a little bumpy in the early going, but we have to do the same thing with the offensive line. They can't wait to halftime to make the adjustments. They have to do it from series to series so those surface tablets come into play. Check out what the defense is doing and see if they can find a better way to run it.
So they search for that patience here now. And that'll be incomplete. We do have a penalty flag down, however. Let's see what that's about. So flag for the contact, pass interference.
And I know that you're going to look at me and roll your eyes, and rightfully so, because you know what I'm going to say. Doesn't the defender have a right to the football as well?
No, I don't like defenders.
That's because you spent too much time with me. Okay, I'll side with you on this one.
And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. It's the fullback with his second touchdown of the game, number 7 on the year. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control. Well, fullback touchdowns have become rare. We just saw 2 of them by the same guy here.
And if you had him on your fantasy team, I'm hanging out with you now for stock tips.
Now the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. Well, they got the ball in great field position. One play later, boom, end zone. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Taken at the goal line. And beyond the 20, but not by much. In fact, just a yard pass there to the 21. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. Dancing to his left. He'll end up getting 5 out of that, but now they're looking at 3rd down. Back to throw. Kendrick found his target. It's Anderson. And he is going to have a Bucs first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
when you're struggling on offense, you're looking for anything possible to get you going. Sometimes you do it like basketball teams that don't normally press. You put a press on, bring people to life, make them move a little bit quicker. Maybe that'll help them as they head towards the half.
On first down, Kendrick. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. 2nd and 4. Operating from the gun, Kendrick. He gets it complete to Harris. And he's dropped just before the line to gain. 4-yard pickup leaves him with 3rd and 1.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
And Harris is not going to get there. Great work defensively to stop him short. No gain on the play there. A nice job defensively. And it likely forces a punt situation on 4th. Here comes the Buccaneers punter now, as he's on for the 5th time here today. And he gets it away, a directional kick going toward the sideline. And this one's out of bounds. Should be inside the 10, I think it is. At the 6-yard line.
Let's go old school there. That's absolutely a great coffin corner punt. Someone's put some time in working on that, hasn't it?
Seems like every year these guys get better and better. It's amazing how they can command that football through the air.
Yeah, they used to actually practice with hula hoops where they place them and try and put them there. Now a lot of guys use barrels on the sidelines to try and put the football in one.
A fight for it, and this is caught. It's caught indeed. It's a big play there for Miami.
That's a big-time pitch and catch right there. And, partner, I remember the days when quarterbacks would try this. They were holding their breath. But nowadays, they're counting on their receiver to be just a little bit better than the defensive back when it's one-on-one and the ball's in the air like that.
So how about this for a change in field position? From inside the 10, here's first down on the other side of the field.
Mike's 40, Mike's 40. I got him. Check Mike 40, check Mike 40.
Looking to throw. Richardson. Oh, he tries to force it in, and it's intercepted. Picked off near the 26. And he's able to get it back here to the 43-yard line. The Bucs offense set to begin their next possession and hoping to do better than they did their last possession when they punted the football.
Appeal to the vanity of your offensive line. Tell them that they control your fate. Leverage guys. Win the line of scrimmage. If you do that, you start to win first down. You win second down. And guess what? You start accumulating first downs. And that's what they need in order to not punt the ball again.
2nd down and 8. They hand this off to Harris, and there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation.
56, Mike, 56, right there, 56.
From the gun, Kendrick. I'm not sure he saw the linebacker there, as that's batted down and incomplete.
How about some applause for the defense there? They forced him to throw that one into coverage, and just like that, they're staring at a 4th down. Well done.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. And he didn't quite have the backspin on that one. It hits at the 4 and continues into the end zone. It's a touchback. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. And he's had his chances in this game. He just hasn't been able to find any daylight so far.
Patience, patience, patience. And that's the hard part for a runner because they expect every run to be a big one for something to pop. So they have to sometimes go through the struggles before it happens for them later in the game.
And that is going to be pulled in one-handed. Wow. It's a big play there for Miami.
I don't think we'll ever get enough of watching one-handed catches, and when they pay off, they are spectacular. But how about the times they don't pay off and coaches go, two hands still works.
I know, but they go for them so often now that I'm almost starting to take them for granted.
Yeah, that's unbelievable, isn't it? Because these are sensational type plays.
Especially that one with a defender right there. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll send you cross-state to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman will have all the stats and all the scores from games going on during another busy Sunday in the National Football League. Richardson on 1st and 10. And this is caught at the 8. Touchdown, Dolphins. A great effort there. His first touchdown on the year. And the Dolphins just continue to pour it on. Boy, I mean, at this point, what more do we say here? I got nothing.
And you know, so many people talk all the time about having announcer-less games, and they want that. This could be a candidate for it, because if we stay here and do this, we're going to have a lot to fill in the second half.
There's still another half. Extra point attempt to follow here. And the route is on here in this first half. A nice tidy little drive there, getting the ball in excellent field position, and only one play to score it. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. This fielded right at the goal line. And the tackle going to be made right there at the 25-yard line. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. And last drive, 3 and out. Still a goose egg on the scoreboard. How do they break that goose egg?
They've got to find a way to get the ball in the hands of their playmakers, get them some space, and try and make a first down and get some momentum going. It's been a struggle for them throughout the game, and that 3 and out on the last possession, that told you just how stalled they are on offense.
So who will step up here? We'll see. He finds his man complete. That's Harris. Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. On 1st and 10, Kendrick got Anderson on the slant. And he'll be taken down, but not before he works it past the 50. They're going to need to get up and set in a hurry. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. A good rally to the football keeps him to only a yard, and it's 2nd down. Well, that's always a good place to throw it, just because he's one of the biggest targets not only on this team but in the National Football League.
And you and I both know the quarterbacks love these large-body tight ends, and why not? Nowadays, they're really wide receivers who are just taller and have a little bit more weight. These guys catch the football, make big plays downfield. In the old days, we wanted them to block. Now coaches want them to catch the football first.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. They'll look to throw again. And that one's going to be off target and incomplete.
They've given up a few first downs on this drive, but getting the incompletion there, that should give them something to build on and maybe turn the tide.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Back to throw again. And he drops it incomplete, and their struggles continue here. This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. He finds his man complete. That's Harris. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 37-yard line. They'll wind up losing 3 here on the play, and it'll be 4th down.
The whole idea of the screen pass is to fool the defense in a big way and create a big play.
They weren't fooled.
Not 1 second, not 1 bit. How about them figuring it out, diagnosing it, and spilling it for lost yardage? And this is one of the risks you run when you attempt a long field goal. If you miss, the defense takes over at the spot of the placement. So now they've got a chance to get one more drive in before halftime.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And maybe a chance for a quick completion and then a long field goal try. We'll see. To throw is Richardson on first down. He's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? He's got it. Touchdown, Dolphins. A big play there as time expires in the first half. And the Dolphins would extend their lead here just before halftime. Point after, right down the middle. And that will take us to the end of the first half of play. So we've reached halftime here, and it's the visiting Dolphins taking a lead to the locker room. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, we'll get back to you guys in a bit. But first, time for a trip around the league on this final weekend of September. We'll begin in the birthplace of rock and roll, Memphis, Tennessee. And it's the Giants who have the lead as they approach halftime. Henry Ruggs, a touchdown reception. From there, let's stay in the Midwest and head down to Kansas City to check on the Chiefs at Arrowhead. And that one's gone to the half with the visiting Broncos on top. Javonte Williams, well on his way to a 100-yard afternoon. Finally, we finish at MetLife Stadium to see what's going on with the Jets. And they currently trail in that game against the visiting Patriots. It's Mac Jones with a touchdown pass there. Meanwhile, our game has been a boat race. Very one-sided to this point. And for the call of the second half, let's get it back to our commentating team of Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. The Dolphins in front, and they'll be in possession of the football first as the second half gets started. Taking it about the 1. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. Out comes the Dolphins now. They'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. And last time out, another touchdown. And I think there may be some empty seats around here by the time the fourth quarter comes around.
Yeah, I have to agree with you because this one's just about decided. But you know who benefits from all those empty seats? You and me, trying to get to the airport.
That's
the roads
true.
will be fairly clear by the time we have to leave the booth.
Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
The previous run, good for 9. Here's 2nd and a yard. From the gun, he'll hand this off. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44.
Well, you certainly have to give a little credit here because they're playing this game now at their pace. This is ball control football, sustained runs, taking their time, and making it work.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll have the Dolphins first down as he's got this up to the 45-yard line. They've got the lead early here in the third quarter, and runs like that are how they establish that lead in the first half.
I love the fact that you're using the word lead because they are leading from the front, pounding on the defense right now with the running game, and truly establishing themselves here in the second half.
So 1st and 10, and if they score on this drive, might have to start digging in our second half blowout material. And he'll give it here to his running back. And down inside the 40 to about the 38. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave him with a 2nd and 3.
Getting had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. So they'll come up after the gain of 7 on a 2nd and 3.
Mike 14. Yeah, we're pretty quiet, D. We're pretty quiet. 14's the Mike.
They'll run with Burgess. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. He's able to get to the 2nd level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talk about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage.
All runs on this drive so far. It's 1st and 10.
Hey, go Mike 40, Mike 40.
Gonna give this time to the tailback. This will be a 5-yard pickup as they move it from the 20 to the 15.
That's a strong pickup right there on 1st down, and as this drive goes on, we're seeing an offensive line and running game imposing its will.
The 1st down run got 5. Here's 2nd and 5. They run the counter. Mullins. And they get to him quickly here as he stopped right around the 13. 3 yards is half of what they needed. Now can they get the other 3 here on 3rd down?
Well, praise has to go to the guys on the offensive line because they've had a very nice, productive day running the football. How about that poor defensive line? They've been knocked around the entire game, and while they slowed them down on that run, can they continue to do so? Because they haven't had much success throughout this ball game.
Hey, alert 3, alert 3.
On 3rd down, Singleton. And he's able to pick up the 1st before he's brought down inside the 5 at the 4. 48 yards now on the ground on just 7 carries. A lot to praise on this drive, obviously. I know you're seeing what I'm seeing. Those guys up front, they're getting it done.
Doesn't matter what play is called. They are handling their business at the line of scrimmage and dominating right now on this drive.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's going to bowl his way into the end zone for the Dolphins score. A great play there. His 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Dolphins take the opening kickoff of the 3rd quarter and drive right down the field to extend their lead. And he certainly played a pivotal role with those 2 TDs and why they're up on the scoreboard right now.
Well, someone's all about winning, aren't they? Because he's not worried about the number. Sure, it's great to have 2 touchdowns, but the bottom line is what he's doing is contributing to their lead. He wants to continue to do so.
Now the try here for the extra point. And the lead grows even larger here in the 3rd quarter. That time a 9-play drive, and it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. This taken in at the goal line. And makes it across the 20 as his guys will set up shop at the 23-yard line. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the 2nd half. And they had compiled a pretty long drive last time. Unfortunately, though, it ended with no points after the missed field goal.
And that can hurt the psyche of a team because as they drove downfield, you know you're never supposed to count points in your mind until they go up on the board. But let's face it, we've been there. We've seen teams before. They were counting on those points. They didn't get them. Can they come back now, start over again, and grind it out?
On second down now, it's Harris. And he's able to take this one up to the 35-yard line.
But they certainly have been able to get him going and establish the run, so I think it's time to abandon that plan and start chucking it all over the park. And you know who's excited about that? The defensive front. They got a chance to pin their ears back and get after him now.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down.
First downs have not come easy, and neither have runs like this throughout this game.
Absolutely not. He finally felt like, whoa, a sigh of relief. We got something going in the running game. Throwing on first down. Kendrick. Going to throw right side here. Complete. 7 yards the pick up there.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he's going to run into a brick wall right in the middle of the field, and I don't think he got there. Calling no gain that time, and they're going to be left looking up at a 4th and 1. And he got off the end there very quickly to make that play.
Yeah, it was almost like the bullet train, wasn't it? I mean, just zoom. Quick, quick, quick. And what a terrific play, holding them to no gain.
Here comes the Buccaneers punter now, as he'll come on to kick this one away. And this will depend on the spot as it sails out of bounds. And they'll say it sailed out at the 10-yard line. The field position game, such an overlooked facet, Charles, of an NFL game. But this offense, they're going to be pinned back. What an ideal punt.
An ideal punt, and it leads to that term complementary football. Because them doing that puts their defense in a great spot, doesn't it? Gives them a chance. If they want to be aggressive, try and maybe get a safety out of this whole thing, it puts them in that position.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And space opens a bit as he gets it across the 15 to the 17-yard line. 40 yards on the ground for him so far.
Well, no matter how they phrase it, staying on schedule, staying ahead of the sticks, whatever you want to call it, 7 yards on first down, that fits the bill.
A good run, got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. Here's a handoff out of the gun. Big hold to the 30. And all the way up to the 37-yard line.
This is a little bit like baseball here. Strong up the middle. Both sides want to be that. In this case, the offense ended up winning the ultimate battle.
And those big runs between the tackles, that's a little deflating for a defense, isn't it?
It really is, because that's where your strength's supposed to be. You're supposed to be in a spot where they can't make that yardage there. You're supposed to send them outside. Not in this case.
Line of scrimmage, the 37 on 1st and 10.
Let's make these babies cry all the way back home. Yeah, check. Hey, Mike. Hey, no, switch the mic right here. Go, Mike forward, Mike forward.
Now a handoff here to his running back. A solid stiff arm. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. Pretty explosive run on that inside handoff, and when you're a runner of his caliber, you don't need a big crease.
You really don't, but also what we're seeing is an offensive line that's taking charge at the point of attack, aren't we? Not only are they controlling the initial contact, they're actually utilizing what they call the strain, the next 2 to 3 seconds, to continue to move people.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 36.
Check. Crunch.
And he'll give it here to his running back. Nothing doing. Barely able to muster a yard to hit the 35.
Well, sometimes you just have to give credit to the defense. Great job there at the point of attack, holding up. They won their battles at the line of scrimmage, left him no space to try and run. A really nice job swarming to the ball carrier.
Now it's 2nd and 9.
Hey, watch the slant.
Carry here for Burgess. And he'll get it down inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. It'll be a gain of 5, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker, and now it's 3rd down.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
On 3rd down, it's Mullins. And he'll be taken down, but he does have first down yardage. 3/4 in the books. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. They'll run on 1st down. Singleton. And he'll get about 5 here as he'll take this down inside the 20-yard line. Charles, you said earlier this defense is probably going to need to hold these guys right around 20 or under that if they were going to have a chance. It was evident pretty early on that wasn't going to happen.
Yeah, they left 20 behind a long time ago in this game, didn't they? It looks like they're headed towards a big number. But 20 was the threshold because that kept them in the ball game and kept the pressure off of their own offense.
On 2nd down, it's Burgess. And he's down inside the 5 at the 4 before he's out of bounds. 60 yards rushing for him now on just 6 carries to this point. Another example of this offense really having their way, Charles, and another big chunk play there on the ground.
And when you look at the defense, they've got to do a much better job of wrapping up when they tackle. A lot of great opportunities continue to slip through their fingers, as do the runners.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Dolphins are about to make it 4 straight as they add to this 4th quarter advantage. The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. A good drive that time as they go 9 plays in all. And it results in a 4-yard touchdown run. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. Back now comes Tampa Bay. Remember, they have won 3 straight, but getting to 4 straight does not appear to be in the cards as they are in a big 4th quarter hole. On 1st down, Kendrick. And that's incomplete.
That incompletion is not a surprise with the way that this one has gone, and the frustration, the body language is evident everywhere. This team, they've really been put through the ringer in this one.
He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Picked off near the 26. And they're going to be set up in the red zone right around the 17-yard line. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just lopsided, and it's been ugly from the get-go. On first down, it's Sharp, and he'll get him inside the 15 down to the 14-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it second down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks and allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. Gonna give this time to the tailback. And here he'll get it down to the 7.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with, and throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. A good run of 6 yards there. Gets them closer to the goal line with 2nd down coming up. When we talk about being on schedule, I think they're on schedule after that run, getting it right down there on the doorstep.
Maybe even a little bit ahead, because now the defense can't dictate with pressure. They're guessing about where you're going to go. I might come right back at them with the same play, the same set, and see if they can stop them.
They'll let the fullback try and take him home. And he will take it in for a Dolphins touchdown. It's the fullback taking it in. And the Dolphins are going to be moving to 4-0 as they extend their lead. Extra point splits the uprights, and that will extend this big lead. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here, but you get points, you feel a little bit better about yourself as you move on to the next one.
Check 56. Oh, you got deep? 56.
They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive.
Well, he was hit as he threw it there, and that one winds up incomplete.
We've seen this quite a few times in this game. Offensive line unable to keep leverage, unable to keep people away, facing a lot of pressure. Fortunate just to get rid of it.
One of the reasons they're down is that inability, though, to stop the pressure. We saw another example of it there. And he's upended after a gain of 2 out to the 27. And on 3rd and 8, defensively, they're going to beef up the secondary. 6 defensive backs. Back to throw. Kendrick. And this is going to be incomplete.
At this point in the game, they've got to continue to try anything they can. They're still working at it, even though this one feels like a lost cause.
So they're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. And we'll see what he can do on the return. Nearly a huge return, as it is still a very good one. 24 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field.
The Dolphins about set to go to work on offense. And it would seem as if their 3-game winning streak is about to go to 4, but still a little work to do as they start 1st and 10.
Now a handoff here to his running back.
Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be second down.
Oh, that's one to warm the hearts of all those old school football players, isn't it? Tough, hard, gritty run, got behind his pads, bowled over a few people. Look at that one, right up the gut.
Saw it through 3 quarters, no reason to lighten up now. Ball at the 40 here for 2nd and 5. This is Burgess. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 71 yards rushing for him now in the ball game. The running game continues to be a big part of their success here early in the 4th quarter.
And with those types of runs, that tells you they feel very confident in their running game. They feel very strong at this stage of the contest, and they want to keep doing exactly what we saw there, running the ball down their throat.
They'll run on 1st down. Singleton. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where it'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up to the challenge.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. They'll keep it on the ground. Singleton. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
They'll keep it on the ground. Singleton. Still a couple yards short of the first as the 3-yard gain brings up a 3rd down.
Well, partner, Marvin, our #1 stats guy, just handed me a little card that says he has 97 yards on the ground today. You think he's going to get the ball again?
I think so. 3 away from that century mark. Got to have it.
Yeah, and I think what they're going to call is one of his favorite runs, whatever he feels comfortable with. And with the...
Then he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. A 21-yard touchdown run. And the Dolphins have got it on cruise control. No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. So that drive spanned 5 plays. And a pretty good run there in the end to top it off. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. And after a sluggish start, he's really bounced back. The numbers bear that out.
And you're a baseball guy, partner. How many at-bats over the course of a baseball season?
Oh, boy, 4 in a game.
Yeah, about 4 in a game.
4 times 162.
350 or so, right? Sometimes it takes a while for a guy to get going. That's my point. It's not the first few carries. You don't worry about that. As they go along, get that guy lathered up, get those blocking assignments down. Those 2-yard gains turn into bigger gains as the game moves along.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. The Dolphins get there this time, and they bring him down. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Throwing on 3rd and long. Kendrick. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down. Here comes the Buccaneers punter now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. Taken right around the 44. And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. So a good punt there, but a very strong 14-yard return. And it'll be Dolphin football. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. With this lead and the football, things obviously looking good, but maybe, you've taught me this before, maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they know how rare it is to get a shutout. So take care of them, protect them, take care of the ball, move it downfield, run the clock down. You don't want your defense to have to go on the field again the rest of the game. Reward them.
And he sheds a tackle. Now he's got some space. And carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
On 1st down, it's Sharp, and he'll take this ahead for about 4. 2nd down coming up.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6. They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. He was trying to clear the way, the big fullback. Instead, he gets a hold.
You don't see that very often on running plays from those guys because usually they're the lead blocker. Normally, when he gets caught, it's in a passing situation.
They'll come up now on a 2nd and long after the hold. Hands it off out of the gun. And he'll be brought down at about the 25 after a pickup of 4. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. So the Dolphins have it as we welcome you back in. They've got a 3rd down now as they look for one more 1st down to help salt this one away. They'll keep it on the ground. It's Burgess. And that's not going to get it done. He'll come up well short of the 1st at about the 21. It'll be a gain of 4, but it won't be enough. It leaves them with a 4th down now. Looking to throw. Richardson. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. Starting to really smell a 4-0 start right now. You can't ask for a better 1st quarter of the season than that.
And you're not supposed to look ahead, but guess what?
You're going to?
They have to, because when you get to if you get to 4-0, you're not just thinking playoffs now. You're thinking about, okay, this team has the capabilities of winning a Super Bowl. They could very well be the best team in the NFL at this moment.
I think they played the best. I mean, there have been a few hiccups offensively and defensively, but probably the best team we've seen, right?
And has the ability to get better.
Extra point right down the middle, and the lead will swell by one more. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. So out come the Bucs now. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. To throw on second down. Kendrick, he finds his man, complete. That's Harris. And not much to speak of. Call it a 1-yard gain up to the 26. On third down, Kendrick. And that is incomplete.
This has been a rough one, to put it mildly, for him. And after this one's done, you just feel like at the post-game press conference, this team's going to have a lot of questions and definitely not a lot of answers.
He'll look to set up his blockers. And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. And out come the Dolphins now. And a few kneel downs should just about do it. Now, defensively, they do have all 3 timeouts, but very little reason to use them at this point. They'll run on 1st down. Burgess. And he'll maneuver his way forward for about 4. 2nd and 6.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to the huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
And they'll get him down as he's inside the 40. And we will get a timeout with 2 ticks left. So now on comes the field goal unit, and wow, this is no ordinary try here. This will be from 56 yards out. And the kick is good. So you wonder how this one might be remembered the next time these two teams meet. But until then, this game's over. So a victory here for the Miami Dolphins. And I tell you what, Charles, this might be about as good as it gets. They were incredible.
Yeah, offense was in fine form. The defense threw the shutout at them. I think they worked in concert together. What I like about the offense was they held the ball pretty well. You know, time of possession, exactly what they were looking for in this one. And that helped out their defense. Didn't have to be out there the entire time. So when you do that and you're out there fresh playing, off a little extra spring in your step, and it showed up in this one.
They had a ton of spring in their step. Impressive victory. So for the Dolphins, hey, they finish a perfect month of September as they move to 4-0 on the new campaign. And they'll get another road test next week as they head to Big D to take on the Cowboys. Meanwhile, for the Bucs, the defeat is their first of the year as they drop to 3-1. And they'll try to turn it around next week as they head to Atlanta for a matchup with the Falcons. That'll do it for us. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. Thanks to our entire crew as well. We'll talk to you next time. So long, everybody.